Domain prep is another utility that you need to run before installing Exchange. Now, what does domain prep do for you? Well, it makes changes to the domain to prepare it for Exchange Server 2003. Forest prep that we talked about in the previous video makes Active Directory schema changes and needs to be run only once in the forest. Domain prep needs to be run in each domain. Notice what it does. It creates Exchange domain servers, global groups, that will then hold all the Exchange 2003 servers. So it creates basically these containers for Exchange 2003 servers, and then it creates the appropriate domain local group to hold all the servers in the organization, and this is the Exchange enterprise servers. So basically it's creating a group structure for Active Directory to use so that the proper permissions and so forth can be applied so that Exchange can function properly. Very similar to the way we ran Forest prep, we can also run domain prep, and this is as a switch off of the setup executable. Now when we run domain prep, the domain prep utility executes without installing Exchange. Where do we need to run domain prep? We need to run it in the root domain of Active Directory, and then in any domain in our forest that has an Exchange 2003 server residing inside that domain. We also need to run it in any domain that has mail-enabled objects, regardless of the fact that there might not be any Exchange 2003 servers in that domain. But the problem is we still need these groups and permissions and so forth if we have mailbox enabled objects. So whether or not there are Exchange servers there, you need to run domain prep. Let's take a look at an example of running domain prep. So again, I'll click on Start, go to Run, then I'll hit the command or CMD, and I've got my command prompt. So what I will type is, again, the drive letter that my Exchange CD is in, and mine is G. Yours is probably going to be different. And I'm going to type setup exe, that's the setup executable for Exchange, / for the switch, domain prep. Now when I press enter again, not much going to happen. Notice hourglass. And now we're loading our installation components. So in just a minute, we're going to see the Exchange installation wizard. Here it is. We click Next. We would click Next and domain prep would run. So that's the way to kick off domain prep. Now understand, I've not run Forest prep and domain prep because this is the manual way to do it, and I'm going to show you on an Exchange installation. There's some deployment tools that will take care of this for us. We're going to look at those in the next video because we're going to look at installing Exchange in this new 2003 environment. So I'll see you there.